Hello and welcome to Advanced Installer. I'm Alex and today we are diving deep into the world of services in MSI packaging. Services are crucial for ensuring your application runs smoothly in the background. They are independent processes that perform specific functions or system tasks and are essential for scalable, flexible, and secure applications. When we talk about services, people might see them as something more than they are. For example, if we go into the services, you will see a lot of services here, right? Including the ones which come directly native from the system, right? But as you can see, for example, I have an AMD video graphics card, right? So you can see other services like Crash Defender, External Events Utility, User Experience Program Update. But what are these exact services? Well, these are actually executables. What the service does, right, is actually run in the background. It doesn't show you messages, right? This is not something that it will notify you that something is going wrong, but the service is something that's running in the backend, maybe expecting certain commands, maybe expecting certain triggers, maybe checking for something and then pass it to the main application or stuff like that. But a service is nothing more than an executable. Including services in your MSI offers numerous benefits like scalability, flexibility, and centralized management. It also ensures better integration with system tools and enhances security. Now, in MSI, services are represented as components that include files. These components can be managed using the Windows Service Control Manager. Creating and configuring services in MSI involves defining components, installation details, control actions, properties, and customizations. So let's see how Advanced Installer simplifies this process. For example, here in my application folder, I have multiple executables, right? I have two executables, right? The App Finder and Hello World. Each of these can be considered as a service, right? So Advanced Installer provides a user-friendly interface for managing the services, and this can be found under the services page. Here you can define start conditions, failure actions, and service monitoring for robust management. Now, Advanced Installer breaks down the service management into key areas, right? Services to install, control operations, configure operations, and failure operations. Each section provides specific settings to fine-tune your service behavior. So let's start to add a new service, right? You can click here and you can select any executable you have, preferably your service one, from your files and folders, right? So let's say that my hello world.exe is a service. Now, pay attention. When I added a new service, two things happened. One, a new service to install appeared, right? This will be the service which will appear under the services here, right? For example, let's consider hello world, and we will cut the exe. Let's consider that hello world will be our new service here, right? Good. But apart from that, a control operation was added. What are control operations? Yes, rename. So these options provide control over the service lifecycle, ensuring it behaves correctly throughout the installation process. For example, during the installation, after the installation has finished, we want to start the service automatically. You can uncheck this, of course, you don't need to do this. Or during the installation, you want to stop the service and start it, or actually delete the service. The same during the uninstallation phase, you want to stop the service. This will happen in the beginning of the uninstallation phase, right? Because you cannot delete a service if it's not stopped. Keep in mind what we talked about in our previous MSI packaging ebook. Of course, you can also add service parameters with your defined arguments, and we always, or this is something I recommend, wait until the service completes. Configure operations. You can specify what happens to your service. Let's add a new service, and let's say that during the installation phase I want to delay the auto start of the service, or if the service runs on failure, I will retrieve a value 1, or the list of privileges which are required to operate this service, right? This is what configure operations are. You can further customize your service as you want. All of this, by the way, is kept into a property. Good. Failure operations are crucial for handling service errors. So Advanced Installer allows you to define actions like restarting the service or sending notifications in case of service failure, right? So let's say I want to define a new service failure, right? This is attached to the hello.exe, and let's say if during the installation the service start fails, we can restart the service after 1 minute. Also, you can add a reboot message. Also, you can run a different program or different arguments. Or let's say that during the uninstall phase something happens and you want to restart the computer or run a specific program, right? So everything can be configured. Remember, always align your service setup with your application's behavior. For some applications, starting the service post-installation and stopping it before uninstallation are best practices, and this is what happens in 99% of the cases. Managing services in MSI is an art that requires understanding your application needs and the tools at your disposal. Advanced Installer provides the necessary features to make this process seamless and efficient. That's all for today's session on managing services in MSI with Advanced Installer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Stay tuned for more tutorials, and happy installing!